Of God's Life News. My name is Taki. I'm so happy to be in your faces again. I want to say a big thank you to our fans out there for doing what you do. We love you guys so much. You guys are the real MVP. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't say it enough. You guys have been the real deal. And then we'll just say a massive thank you. And once again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. In the meantime, you can now stream us live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at the time. Please come through because we are waiting for you in those spaces. The news is buzzing. Remember, this is the media edition of Gospel Life News. A whole lot is happening. We have Peruzzi on the news today. We have Asake on the news. We have a bit of Rema on the news making the rounds. And all of these, Omah Lay also make the cut. All of this and many more, we'll bring them to you in a bit. Stay tuned because it's about to get down. We'll begin the news with no other person than Asake, an amazing guy, trust me. One of the best we had so far. At the point, him and Rema has been in the same conversation, but without, beyond all reasonable doubt, he has proven that yes, he is a better indigenous artist than Rema. Rema has done it internationally, but then Asake has proven that on the local level, I can have it in lockdown. And he's been doing that ever since he had his major breakthrough from last year. We saw on the official Afrobeat chart, we saw where the song he has with Guna and SARS of that one called Happiness made a debut on number 2 on the UK Afrobeat chart. Like I said, Asake has just been making sure that he has been taking it a day at a time, and he has been doing that effortlessly from going to the UK, having a shutdown show at the O2 Arena. Moving on, he has been making a statement that you guys, I'm back, I'm getting set for you guys, and in no time, you're going to be seeing me in your faces as regular as possible. And this time, he's already doing that. Having a song as number 2 just shows that he just could be the next conversation in the UK. Or in the meantime, be sure that they will start making headlines in the UK. Moving on, we saw Asake live in Lagos, announcing that one over the weekend on the first day of January. This became impressive because the point we saw where Lagos was looking like they were not concert in Lagos, just looking like what's the problem? What's the problem in Lagos? But from nowhere, we're seeing shows springing forth. A lot of shows. Jiggy, Jungle at the concert, Omah Lay at the concert. Davido had about 3 concerts in Lagos. Christian is doing a concert in Lagos. Like everybody is doing concerts in Lagos. Asake have said, you know what? I won't be left behind. I also will join the train on the first day of January. This came after it was in Abuja over the weekend where him and Odumo the Black had the show for same day, and people ask questions, which person will have more audience? Surprisingly, they both had still our audience at the time, and I'm making this Afrobeat is growing at the time. But then you have said Abuja now festival, the Afrofest is happening on 25th, which Asake is also headlining. But then he's saying on the 1st of January, I would be doing my own concert, which is called Asake Live in Concert. YBNL Nation are presenting that one, and it will be at Soul Beach at Oniru. People asking questions saying, are we going to get likes of Olamide Firebites at concert? We only time can tell. Maybe these guys could just come through for Asake in his concert. Moving on, we saw Asake while in Abuja demonstrating a whole lot. His artistic part of him, we saw him do all of that, dancing beautifully with this crowd. We saw him dressed up in the black attires, and then we saw him at a point. He had about 3 clips here, right? And then these 3 clips can mean a whole lot to you depending on where you're seeing it from. But then we saw Asake obviously doing his dancing thingy, which is making the round on TikTok at the time. His dance was so magical, that so contagious, was touched that you would want to dance to my time, shaking his head like he did for the yoga thingy. And for Asake, you can't expect anything less because of his artistic nature. And then we saw where Asake replicated Burna Boy at the MSG. The last time we saw this was at the MSG when Burna Boy performed one of the best performances ever in his career at the Madison Square Garden in the US. And then after all of that, we saw Burna Boy breaking his guitar at the time. He was so emotional, and then got the guitar, broke it to pieces, and then got off the stage and all of that. Asake also replicated the same thing in Abuja, but before he did that, he went into a kind of trance at the point where we saw him dancing like he was moved by the spirit with the drums and all of that. He did that for about 2-3 minutes, and then when he couldn't hold it any longer, we saw him getting or putting all of that to his guitar and then slam it on the floor like 3, 4, 5 times before it got down to pieces and then he left the stage. If you saw the MSG, you can relate when you saw Asake doing this at the time. And finally, we saw where he came through with a fire gun thingy. The last time he did this was at the O2 Arena, where at the time he introduced Olamide, and this time again we saw him doing it again, coming through the fire gun and then doing that while performing. Obviously, whoever was there at the time enjoyed what they saw Asake doing on stage. Moving on, we saw Asake channeling about 5 million naira to the police officer, which trended at the point. But last year, we saw a police officer on TikTok at the time where she was trying to stop an officer. Stop somebody who was driving, and we saw where the guys refused to stop driving, and then she was screaming, "Help me, help me, help me!" They carry me go where I don't know, and the time it became a popular trend everywhere. Help, help, help! They carry me go where I don't know became a sensation at the time. It got so big that Asake even had to use the line in one of his songs he released at the time. And obviously that song was a big song, instant smash, and we got good numbers at the time. Recently we saw where the comedian I Go Save actually was saying with the woman and then narrating that she was hit by hit and run vehicle, and then her leg has been in discomfort, pain, and then she couldn't raise funds for medical attention, which led her to alternative use of traditional herb for her legs at the time, and then soliciting for funds online. And I Go Save made the first move by taking her to the hospital and giving her about 1 million naira, and pleaded to well-meaning Nigerians to come through and give her funds at the time. Asake also heard that and donated the sum of 5 million naira to the woman. But then this gesture has not come without people's tongue, because people are saying that money is too small, considering how much he made of the song he had with a voice. People are saying he should have done more than that and all of that. But regardless, we all can tell you that he has donated the sum of 5 million naira. Will it do more or not? Only time will tell. Moving on, we saw the family at the Brixton concert. Though I recall that sometime last year, Asake had a show in UK at the Brixton concert where there was a stampede that claimed that would look as though Asake already said to them, but they are saying he has not done enough for them, and they would be going to the court anytime soon. These were cases that like Travis Scott and others have had, and it came out very messy. We hope that this one for Asake will come out as clean as possible. Maybe an outdoor or settlement might just be a consideration at this point in time. Oh, while he had a show in Abuja, we saw the likes of the biggest boys coming out for him. Ramanjago was out with Asake for his show, and then we saw His Excellency, the President's son, talking about Sheyi Tinubu, also came out to show support for Asake at the time. Indeed, it was a massive success. Recall that Davido also was in Abuja some days ago, where he also had an amazing performance. Odumodu also did the same. Asake was not left out because he sold out and had an amazing performance in Abuja. Moving on, we have Omah Lay as the next guy on the news. We saw Omah Lay hit song at the time, So becoming the most streamed song on Apple Music and Boomplay for the year 2023. Now, So is a song released last year, and for a lot of reasons, it was a song that Omah Lay even himself never believed the song would have gone that far, because it was a breakup song, a sad song, supposed to be a sad song, but then it looked as though the words really consumed sad music, because they love the song did good numbers. Even Apple Music, we've had amazing songs this year unavailable to Burna Boy songs, Asake dropped songs, but then a last year song still made it through to the top songs of the year on Apple Music in Nigeria and Boomplay. It just shows that Omah Lay created a magical project at the time, and obviously on his tours he has done so far. So has been that song that people have really been waiting to see him perform at the time. And moving on, we saw, like I said, So also became the most streamed song on Boomplay for the year 2023. At the same time, we saw Omah Lay Godly have just surpassed 100 million views on YouTube. Understand at the same time have crossed 100 million views on YouTube. At the same time, Understand also crossed 100 million streams on Spotify. Omah Lay is an amazing guy. Crossed about 100 million before Davido got his first 100 million. It just shows that people love the song. He had a breakthrough in 2020 over the COVID era, but then ever since the COVID era till date, Omah Lay has been giving us stellar projects and singles back to back. Moving on, we saw Omah Lay actually having a show in Lagos, and trust me, it was a fully packed show. People came out. You could just tell indeed that Nigerian and Lagosians love Omah Lay effortlessly. We saw them coming out in the numbers to witness greatness while Omah Lay mounted the stage. And then we saw his friends also coming out for him. The likes of Bella Shmurda came through, surprised him on stage. For Nigerian music, we've been seeing a lot of surprises lately. People announce shows and then you say your friends came through and surprised you, and you're like, wow. And then that was the same case for Omah Lay, because Bella Shmurda came through, supported him, and surprised him on set. An amazing one. The bromance we saw was one that we also always love to see moving on from now. We saw Victoria also coming through to grace the stage for Omah Lay. At the same time, we saw the dancer himself, Pokoli, the world best dancer, also coming through, showing support and dancing effortlessly for Omah Lay hit song at the time. Dako also was there to show support and love to Omah Lay. For Dako, he was singing with WizKid just some days before. At the same time, that would not stop him from coming out to show support to his friends Omah Lay at the time. Moving on, we have Peruzzi as the next. Peruzzi as the next guy on the news, an amazing guy, one of the best we have out there. Who has done? Peruzzi has been trending for quite a while, and for some reason, people believe that it is because of the album he's set to release, which is coming out any moment from now. We saw at the points where he came out to say he has written stuff for a lot of artists, but then he said for Burna Boy, I did not, or I have never written stuff for Burna Boy at the time, and don't give me credit for what I did not do. This time, Peruzzi is trending again for something quite different, but obviously in the same light as he was trending the last time. We saw where he was speaking on the Zero Condition podcast, and then he came out to say, he was asked, and the guy asked him, saying the world, or basically Nigerians would love to see Peruzzi and Kizz on a project. And then he said, yes, we have done the job before, but then Kizz gave the job to Buju Benson, and that's the song Gwagwalada at the time. And then he said, because of that conduct, I might never work with Kizz again because of what he did to me at the time. And it became messy, and people asked questions. What would have happened? What would have made Kizz give the song to Buju Benson? Is it a normal thing in the industry? Is it Kizz being wicked? A lot of story came out, and people had their thoughts about what could have been the reason at the time. But while that was going on, we saw Kizz brother talking about Uti came out to say Peruzzi was never given the song. It was meant to go try it out, but once done, it wasn't confirmed, and Peruzzi went ahead to leak the song without approval. I remember chasing down with DJ who played it at the time, and then so he's saying, no, the narrative is wrong because Peruzzi did not say the whole truth. And then he's saying the truth is that the song was never given to Peruzzi, but instead it was given to him to go and try it out and see what he could do on the song. But then Peruzzi instead released the song as a leak project, and then Uti said he was the one who was running after a DJ to not play the song at the time. And all of this could be the reason why Kizz said, you know what, I'm not giving the song to you at the time. And then while that was still buzzing, we saw Obi Franklin, one of Davido's aides at the time, came out to share more light about what could have been a problem. And his words, he said that he understands from his point of view and from relationship with Kizz that the song was initially done not even with Peruzzi at the time, but then with Loj, and that pressure was not even out because Kizz had the choice to make when he wants to release the song. And then he shed more light about it, saying it just could be other reasons. And then he said he wished Peruzzi could be watching this video and not to take that personal, because all of this is happening in the industry. And he just gave the song to people because he said for Kizz is someone that when you go to Asake, that's the studio, he plays you the song available. So basically, not because he has given it to somebody, but then he plays what is available. And most likely, Benson got the available part of it, did the song, and Kizz was impressed with what he has done, and then he gave him the song. Not that Peruzzi should be angry with all of that. But it looked as though that explanation did not sit well with Peruzzi, because we saw Kusman came out to say, when Peruzzi posted about his feature with Kizz, why didn't any of them call his bluff since it wasn't supposed to be on the song? And we saw Peruzzi saying, hey, Russian at Obi Franklin, can you answer this since you got a big mouth? And that was a subtle shade back to Obi Franklin. And this is worrisome because it just shows that they could just be a problem in the 30 BG camp. Obi Franklin is Davido's aide, one of Davido's closest ally at the time. Peruzzi is Davido's ex-signing and one of Davido's good friends who has been with Davido on different tours. And we know that is a big family. 30BG is a big family, and they don't disregard or disrespect themselves. But this time, Peruzzi and Ibe Franklin seem disturbing, and they're asking questions saying, could there be a problem in the DMW camp? Because this might just be speaking a lot of volume that we need answers to all of these questions. And moving on, we saw Portable making the round over the weekend at the same time for his performance at a Celestial Church, West Gammon Church. This was disturbing because even on Sunday evening, we saw another round making at a church in Lagos where Spyro and the likes were made to perform, and people asked questions saying the pastor shouldn't have done that. And while that was still buzzing, we saw the Tony Montana that's Portable, the new name was given in UK, and then we saw him performing in the Celestial Church, even going as far as saying the Celestial Church were ripping him, and then he said they should stop spraying him single notes, but then spraying bundles because they wouldn't want to share celebrity going out to pick money with fans. And this became worrisome, and fans are saying no, it is disrespectful. The church wouldn't permit all of this. Why are Afrobeat artists performing in churches? They never seem to understand why that can be a problem. Now, for the church in Lagos, like of Spyro, Skills went to perform, which is still disturbing, and that why that is buzzing. Portable is also making the round for performing in a white garment church, and people asking questions: why are churches allowing all of these to happen? Finally, we have Rema as the next guy on the news. It has been a quiet week for Rema for last week, and this week been a very quiet week. But at the same time, Rema has not been talking, but then his songs have been doing good numbers. Bobalu, the one with Fexo at the time, have just surpassed 60 million streams on Spotify. I recall that on Friday, Rema Cham just crossed the 80 million mark at the time, and him and Burna Boy also City Boy also crossed the 80 million mark. So we have it that Rema and Burna Boy were the only solo artists and artists with solo song to have crossed 80 million mark. But at the same time, we saw Rema, Ofexo, Bobalu also doing 60 million streams on Spotify. Indeed, Rema is global that we can see or imagine. My name is Daki. We'll catch you guys in the very next one.